The issue is that Axe was only a goal difference. A goal away from taking a point away from Irma.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how styles clash because, again, we talk about Asian eFootball and their abilities and how they prepare. We certainly know all about Usmakabyle and his abilities. It's that fire and ice that we are probably going to expect it to be. It's just a case of, who's swinging the hammer the hardest, I suppose, between these two.
Or the axe.
Or the axe. It's certainly, hoping, at least from Axe's perspective, he'll certainly be looking to try and be the person swinging the axe.
I think the problem is having lost that opening game of the group stages. Axe now is in a position, Semra, where he almost has to win to just stay in the hunt, or at least take something away from Usmakabyle. And then, as you said, when you look at those results going in elsewhere, when he's winning by 5-goal margins, it's almost a task that you don't want to be in. You don't want to be in this position at this point. Obviously, you have to play the hand that you're dealt, but there's better ways to try and qualify.
Certainly better ways.
But I tell you what as well, right? Usmakabyle is in a really fine position right now because if he puts 3 more points on the board, he's got 6 points. Then you have Axe, who would still remain empty-handed, and then MelianTheKing would be up next. If you're one of the two of them looking at the table and you start to see Usmakabyle pull away, potentially Irma, the pressure starts to mount. Surely I imagine as well that has some kind of effect on you mentally as well, emotionally potentially even too.
Yeah, it puts you under your own pressure. Not only are you worried about your own performances and your own points, you're worried about what's happening across the group. You'd never want to be in a position where you're looking for favours from other players because again, as much as it might be a case that Melian may go and win 2 of the games, that then puts Axe's place at jeopardy, and then puts Irma's place at jeopardy. They won't want to give anything or any quarter in this type of group. Looking at how it is kind of playing out in front of us, you'd probably say that Irma, for lack of a better phrase, especially from the result that we've looked at, is probably the one who's the more vulnerable because of such is the scoreline that we've seen of the 6-1 when it comes to Irma, because he's an incredibly good eFootball player.
Yeah, have to concur. Obviously, we've had the opportunity to almost have our eFootball commentary careers run in parallel to Irma's playing career because when he came through, really broke through with that performance in the E-Euros with Romania, we were able to follow that all the way. That was a real shock to the world, so he kind of announced himself then. As you say, doesn't really face much pressure. I think this next match is going to give us more of a lay of the land in that console group stage, because as you see, Usmakabyle, Irma at the top, you now have Axe, who needs a win, or at least needs something from this next game. If you were able to get that, it really does blow the group kind of up for grabs, because he brings himself into contention, puts more pressure on MelianTheKing, who then has to go up against Irma. It's like Wes says, you can't help but look at what's happening elsewhere and do the mental maths in your head, like, okay, well, I need this from this game or that from that game. It's a horrible position to be in, and the real winner from this is Usmakabyle, because he's saying, I got goal difference, I got points, I'm ready, I've been here 3 times, this is my 3rd time now. Let's get
He's
this
not going to
moving.
let this one slide past him this time, I imagine.
Well, I don't think he'll want that, no.
No, 3rd time of asking. Well, let's see if he can go the distance then for today. As it stands, we have our next match ready to go, so it's going to be Japan's Axe against Algeria's.
東アジア・オセアニア代表になりましたアックスです。今回アーセナルのクラブファイナルまで来たこと、とても嬉しく思います。この後のクラブファイナルでは厳しい試合ばかりだと思うので、一戦一戦集中してプレーしていきたいと思います。応援よろしくお願いいたします。
Hi guys, it's Usmakabyle, 3-time world champion, 3-time eFootball Pro champion. It's again me. This time I will try to represent Arsenal in the club event. It's a little bit special for me because I won my 3rd title in 2019 in London, the Emirates Stadium. So I will do my best, of course, to bring the title in Japan with this jersey. Good luck to all my opponents, and see you there.
Well, always great, Wes. As we always love hearing from the players, because one thing as we do all of our research, we do obviously look into these players. Completely went over my head because you and I were both there.
Well, you were there as a commentator. I was there in the audience watching an incredible final at the Emirates.
That's right.
It was a very, very good final.
At this virtual stadium, Usmakabyle has had very, very fond memories indeed. Except the real world version. Because in 2019, he won his 3rd world title. He'll be hoping that this will be another accolade to add to his collection. Going up against him will be Axe. He said tough games in this group. He will try his very best. And I'll tell you what, no games come much tougher than this one. It is Axe in the Arsenal home strip, taking on Usmakabyle. In that second strip, call it the banana skin, is that right? Or is that's from a few seasons ago, I think. Either way, the yellow strip with the dark shorts for the 3-time world champion. Threads the ball through and I think kind of signals to his adversary here, Axe, that he's coming to make sure his spot in the final is secured. That's a low cross towards Jesus.
Yeah, the one thing we know about Usmakabyle is preparation is key for him. Like, he will know every nut and bolt of this Arsenal team, and he'll know exactly how he needs to use them. Axe, of course, on the other hand, as we said, is no slouch. Was part of a Japan national team that got to the final of the first ever E-Asian Cup. So he will certainly have had running mates that will certainly give him some help in terms of preparation. You look at the likes of Lever, you look at Japan as a nation. They are very, very good at producing good esports athletes.
Well, he's on the offensive here as sadly Saka can't receive the ball. Just 23 years old, the Asia East regional winner, Axe. Has a tough game, having lost 3-2 in his opening game elsewhere in the group. He's now faced with the task of having to go blow for blow against one of the, I don't know if I'm exactly right in saying, most decorated players in the eFootball esports scene. Axe now with Havertz and Saka